42-yard line. It'll be third down and about 18. Snap back to Blancett. It's going to a little throwback screen to DeLeon. Got a lot of guys out in front. Across the 30, inside the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. DeLeon makes another move. He'll be knocked down inside the 10-yard line. Great play call, huge run after the catch for Brody DeLeon, brought down by Kenneth Montgomery, but it'll be first and goal for the Leopards.
First of all, what a great play call there in that situation. But, man, what a run by Brody DeLeon. And at the end of it, right, lowers his shoulder and trucks the Cameron defender. He got up really excited. I'd like to see him get the ball here again because that young man is playing possessed.
Hand off to DeLeon. Goes to the left. Dragging tacklers, drags 3 Cameron defenders. He'll be down just short of the goal line inside the 1, second and goal.
Yeah, and one of those defenders he was dragging is one of the defensive linemen up front. I get the number, Jared,
78, Elon Basie.
Yeah, and Basie is well over 200 pounds, right? And big physical kid, strong kid in there. But Brody DeLeon saying, hey, we don't skip leg day in the DeLeon house. I'm going to try to take it to the house. You'd like to see him get another shot here, Jared, to go ahead and get the touchdown.
Second and goal. Snap back, hand off to DeLeon over the right side. He will dive forward. And they're going to say he is in. Touchdown, Lorena Leopards. Touchdown, Brody DeLeon.
Again, a really nice play fake after the fact by Jackson Blancett. I like that, even though you didn't need it down there. That's fundamental football. That's how it's coached. But, you know, again, I talked about the football universe, right? The football universe willed that Brody got that touchdown as he kind of put the team, him and Carson Miller put the team on their back on that drive. And good, tough run there by Brody DeLeon. But that Leopard offensive line is starting to lean a little bit on this Cameron front.
Connor Johnson on to attempt the extra point. Snap back out of the hold of Parker Bottoms. Kick is up and good. And with 7:09 left to go in the third quarter, your new score is Lorena 28, Cameron 6. We'll take a commercial break and come right back. It's the Syntex Pawn broadcast of Lorena Leopard football.
I'm Rusty Robinson with Aquanauts Custom Pool and Spa, where quality and design makes the difference. We specialize in gunite pools, remodels, fiberglass pools. We've got all the selections here in the office between your tile, your coping, your veneer, top of the line equipment, concrete finishes, and anything else that you need. We've got glass tiles, pebble plaster, top of the line travertine coping, and 3cm, 5cm bullnose, anything that you could want on the pool. We're going to come out to the house, do a 3D design, get everything you need so that we can see your house, your pool, in your yard so that we can make any adjustments.
Welcome back in. 7:09 left to go. Leopards now up 28-6. Connor Johnson with the ball on the tee. He'll put his left foot into it. It is going to be caught at the 22-yard line. That is Lopez pinchback, cutting it back up. He'll bounce back. He's going to be hit by Keaton Leonard. The rest of the Leopards show up and stop him, and then we get late flags. Looked like Parker Bottoms took a shot to the helmet late, Billy, and looked around to the official who promptly pulled the laundry out of his pocket.
So preceding that, Parker Bottoms shed a block. The young man did not like the fact he was thrown to the ground while the ball was still in play, mind you, and got up. And good job by Parker there not taking the bait, right, because the second guy almost always gets a flag. And Parker picking up a big 15-yard penalty for his Lorena team here to further move Cameron back and even worse field position. So
sometimes you can help your team with field position by kind of drawing the penalty, if you will. And again, we kind of talked about his leadership and whatnot. And that's just one more way, as a team captain, to not react in that situation and have offsetting penalties. Cameron will have to start. We'll have to start way back in their own territory.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, Jared, we talk about hidden yards, right? And penalty yards, they show up on the stat sheet, but you don't always look at them when you're looking at a box score. That's a big penalty, right? The difference between field position on the plus side of your 30 versus the minus side of your 25 is massive in the grand scheme of things. And it gives Lorena just a little bit more space to defend and scheme up what they want to do. But Bottoms has really played well tonight so far in this game. His leadership has been constant all year.
So 1st and 10 for the Yeoman, ball at their own 23-yard line. Handoff to Lopez, pinchback, hit hard by Adrian Medina coming in from that interior linebacker spot.
Yeah.
And
sorry, Jared. Medina's been active all night long. Both inside linebackers, Medina and Bottoms, have been extremely active running, tackle to tackle, C-gap to C-gap. And the Leopard defense has done a really good job of setting the edge with Powell and Conlon, right? And that's what you do. That's team defense, right? You seal the edge, you set the edge, you let your inside guys eat, let them cook, and that's what they're doing tonight.
So 2nd down and about 8. Ball right at the 25-yard line. Man in motion for Jacoby, fires it out to that right side. It was Jack Seguire, and ball a little bit low, and I think he got the alligator arms. Billy is not able to make the catch, as believe that his Keaton Leonard was in hot pursuit, and good to see Leonard coming up playing tough defense.
Yeah, that may have been a business decision there by the Cameron receiver there, because you're right. He kind of at the very end, I think he saw that red jersey flying to the ball and kind of retracted those arms a little bit. But again, being in the right place at the right time, playing with velocity, can affect your opponent even if you don't touch them, and that's what we saw there.
So 3rd down, call at 8, ball at the 25. Snap back. Scott rolls to the right, gets the throw out. It is caught by Allen Wilcox. He was short of the line to gain, but then looks like he lunged forward, got the ball across, and picks up the big 1st down for Cameron. Yeah,
that was a really nice throw there by the Cameron quarterback, because Adrian Medina was in his face very quickly. Nice job by Medina not picking up a roughing call there, because, that's one of those situations as a defensive player, it's kind of a gray area. Like, I could hit him, but I could get a flag. But big-time throw and catch there for Cameron, converting there early on this drive.
So 1st and 10 for the Yeoman. Ball at their own 33-yard line. Snap back. Thought the play was blown dead initially, but it's not. Jacoby Scott with it. He is going to be wrapped up. Short gain of 2. A whole host of Leopards in there on the play.
Just really nice job there by the front 5, but 5 to 7, right? You've seen this unit. The defensive line and the linebackers are playing as a one group, right? They're playing, they're spacing, their relative gap responsibilities. They're filling, right? And they've filled before, right? They've had success, but there's always been kind of an issue with the correlation or depth between them. Tonight, they're in sync. You're seeing the defense work like it's schemed up.
2nd down and 8. 3 receivers out to the left. Scott rolls that way. It's going to be chased out of the pocket by Trey Frosch, and it'll be run out of bounds by Preston Powell. Good job by Frosch and Powell there, kind of bracketing Jacoby Scott, forcing him out of bounds.
Yeah, I talk about Brody DeLeon showing an extra gear. I think Trey Frost showed me an extra gear right there. I think he saw maybe a sack or a tackle for loss, and he got on his horse there. And, I understand why the quarterback threw it out of bounds, because that is a big, big, strong kid coming at you with a little bit more hitch in his giddy up. Like, he was getting after it.
Going to be a loss of about 3 on the play. Put him behind the chains. 3rd down and 11. Ball back at the 31-yard line. 32, rather. Snap back to Jacoby Scott, looking right. He's going to throw it out there. It is going to be Allen Wilcox. He'll have it, but he's going to be drugged backwards by Adrian Medina. It'll be a pickup of about 7 yards, but it'll still be about 6 to 7 yards short of the 1st down.
And Jared, another thing, if you love defensive football like I love defensive football, 9 red jerseys around the receiver at the end of that play. That is hustle. That is team defense. That is want to. Like, that is everything you want out of a unit running to the football, up 22 points.
So 4th down at about 6. Cameron will get in punt formation again. Jacoby Scott, the punter, also the quarterback for the Yeoman. Snap back. He'll put his right foot into it. It'll bounce at about the 45-yard line, 44-yard line. Take a Yeoman roll, and it'll roll out of bounds at the Lorena 34-yard line. So the Leopards will take over 1st and 10 there. 4:10 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Billy will keep it here. again, seeing the Leopard defense, that they gave up the big play on third down, but then responded really, really well. We talked about Trey Frosch getting in on the action, kind of doing what they needed to do, and forced the Yeoman to punt.
Yeah, and even on the Yeoman third down conversion, it was under distress. The quarterback had to make a pressure throw into a tight window, and the receiver had to make a great effort to extend the ball. Nothing easy out there for Cameron tonight on offense.
Leopards with it 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. Snap back to Blancett. Quick throw out to, I believe, that is Carson Miller. He has the catch, and he'll take it out across the 40. We'll see where they mark him out of bounds. They're going to say all the way out to the 46, so it'll be enough for an Epperson Tractor first down. There is a Leopard down on the far sideline. Billy, that is Brody DeLeon. Looks like it may be a cramp. The Cameron athletic training staff over to take a look at him. We also see Isaac Diaz out there as well. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Billy.
sorry about that, Jared. Yeah, we've seen Brody tonight. We spoke about it earlier in the first half, playing both ways, right? You play offense and defense, and this is, his first week of doing so. And not to mention playing inspired football on offense too, so, right? It certainly looked like a cramp. We certainly hope so, that young man's okay. And then we'll see some depth from the Lorena, the running backs here to see some youngsters get an opportunity as well.
So DeLeon kind of limping as he's walking off. I assume it's just still that cramp he's trying to work out. Hunter Black is going to come into the ball game to replace DeLeon. Also see Zach Taylor out at a wide receiver spot. Good to see that young man back in action after missing a couple of weeks. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Leopards.
And, for somebody that has never had a lower leg cramp, it is excruciatingly painful. Sometimes you get them in the middle of the night when you're sleeping after a game, but we certainly hope Brody's okay.
So 1st and 10, snap back. Blancett looks, fires out over the right side. He's got a man. That's Sloan Blackwell. Drags the defender for a couple of more yards. That's Jax Aguirre. Blackwell has it all the way inside the 35, down at the 33 of Cameron, where it'll be another Epperson Tractor first down.
Yeah, really like the protection was great up front. Jackson Blancett, stepped on his back foot, delivered a shot right to Sloan. And I love the fact Sloan Blackwell, the way he moves without the ball, when he comes back to it, he's well beyond his years already.
Leopards with it 1st and 10, handoff to Hunter Black. Makes a man miss, spin move. He'll be inside the 20, and it'll be another Epperson Tractor first down for Hunter Black. Great job by the sophomore making the most of his time in the ballgame.
Yeah, and he's a different style than DeLeon. DeLeon's more of a downhill, kind of like a one cut, and he's gone. I like the shiftiness of Black. I like how he's really laterally quick, and it really throws a changeup at the Cameron defense who's been seeing Brody all night long. They're probably guessing, oh, man, thank goodness that we're going to break, but Black showing he's shifty and also a weapon.
So 1st and 10 for the Leopards. Snap back. Black takes it. This time he's hit hard. Ball on the turf. They're going to say he was down. He was able to recover his own fumble anyway, but they're going to mark him down. It'll be no gain. He was hit hard. I believe that was number 11, Michael Keefe, with the big hit on Black.
Yeah, and you're still seeing Cameron play extremely physical defense at the point of attack. They're coached extremely well. You can see what the emphasis is of their program, toughness and tackling. Those yards are not easy in between the tackles. And obviously Black's going to need to want to hold on to the football there. But a young player learning on the fly, he'll clean that up.
So 2nd down and 10. Snap back. This time Blancett going to fake it and keep it around the left side. 20, 15, 10, 5. He'll sneak into the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Lorena Leopards. Touchdown, Jackson Blancett.
You really love the play call. You lull them to sleep, and I hate to say lull them to sleep because the Lorena running game has been dominant in the second half. But then Jackson just pulls it, gets to the edge, no one's there, and he shows you his athleticism there. And the thing I like the most about it is he didn't try to dive or hurdle or do. He trusted his speed, got to the pylon, and avoided taking the big hit there. Going up now, ensuing extra point up 34-6 currently.
Connor Johnson on once again to attempt the extra point. Then out of the hole to Parker Bottoms. Snap back, kick is up and good. And with 2:15 left to go, your new score, Lorena 35, Cameron 6. We'll take a break and come right back. It's the BAM Builders broadcast of Lorena Leopard football.
Tractors invites you to save big on their full lineup of new DYM tractors. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a full-time rancher, we offer tractors ranging from 25 to 75 horsepower. Why choose Epperson? They're proud to be the 2024 DYM Dealership of the Year. Come meet their expert team of tractor pros who can help you find the horsepower you need with a deal you'll love. Epperson Tractor Sales and Service, where service is in our name.
Welcome back in. The 19-yard touchdown run from Jackson Blancett puts the Leopards up big, 35-6, 2:15 left to go here in the third quarter.
And Jared, that just shows you how impactful the QB running game can be to a defense, right? You lose eye discipline for just one play. You're following the Leopard running game inside, and then he just pops it outside.
Connor Johnson with the ball on the tee. Kicks it is DeAllen Wilcox with the catch. Late flags come in. And that was an interesting play, Billy, because I saw an up man call for a fair catch, and then Wilcox ran it. So not sure what happened, if he ended up getting hit late out of bounds or what, but that's not good for the Leopards if they lose another 15 yards here.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen two back-to-back flags on kickoffs, and they're not blocks in the back like you normally see. This looks like it's going to be another personal foul.
Have to wait and get the call from the official, but it is after the play. Personal foul against Lorena. So when they mark off 15 yards, that'll put the ball into Leopard territory. And Billy, that kind of speaks to your point earlier about do you kick it deep versus the pooch kick? Well, something like this happens now. Cameron's got the ball in great field position to start this drive.
Yeah, absolutely, and another test for the Leopard defense here to get a stop, and they're on into the field.
Jacoby Scott back out at quarterback for the Yeoman. Team looks at the sideline to get the signal. Snap back, and it looked like everybody but the center went on one. He was expecting to go on two.
Yeah, an observation I've had about the Cameron offense tonight is anytime they kind of come out and look like they're in a pass set or maybe look like they've got a pass play drawn up, they don't look super comfortable, right? They don't look like they're super confident in what they're doing in the passing game. Now, we've seen in the running game them execute at an extremely high level at times, and they've got like some really explosive athletes, but definitely still trying to find their identity a little bit in the passing game.
The 5-yard penalty marked off. It'll be 1st and 15. Ball at the Leopard 47-yard line. Snap back to Scott. He's going to go deep down the sideline. Connor Johnson in coverage. That is intended for DeAllen Wilcox, but it was well overthrown and incomplete.
Yeah, for you Baylor Bear fans out there, that's the old air raid Art Briles money play there. You've seen Baylor slot receivers run that for touchdowns many, many times for deep balls. That's how they kind of drew it up, but the timing was just off, Jared. And you can just see, like, it's just kind of like they're still trying to find themselves a little bit in their passing game. Now, they've got dudes. They've got highly athletic kids. The quarterback throws a really good ball. But you just see the Leopards are either giving them a look they're not used to seeing, or there's just something off rhythm-wise with their passing game.
2nd down at 15. Ball at the 47-yard line. Little bunch formation for Cameron. Now tight end's going to change sides. Now Wilcox in motion. Snap back to Scott. Looks to throw right. It is right into the hands of, that is Luke Lavender with the interception. Down the sideline. He's going to run out of bounds. But Luke Lavender, Johnny on the spot, makes the interception and returns it deep into Cameron territory.
Yeah, great job, Coach DeLeon. Good call. That was scheme number one. It gave him a man look, and Luke was squatting there in the cover two. Ball was thrown right to him. Quarterback saw man. It was cover two. Hits Luke right between the 3-0. And guess what? Luke does exactly what he's supposed to do. Catch the ball, head downfield. Really nice play, young man. Good to see these young defensive backs for Lorena play so well tonight.
Well, and that's going to build a lot of confidence. Like we talked about in the beginning, kind of focusing on the journey, not the destination. We see it right there. And kudos to that young man, probably not expecting the ball to be thrown right to him, but makes the catch, and then immediately you see the football IQ, stay on the sideline, run up, get what you can get.
And even better yet, Jared, the emotion on the sideline, the players celebrating, the coach is excited. Like, this defense deserves success.
Snap back to Blancett. He is going to be wrapped up and sacked. That is number 77, Enrique Luna III, and also number 11, Michael Keith, kind of busting through and sacking Blancett.
Yeah, and I'll tell you that the Cameron front, their defensive front, has done a nice job all night long of kind of hassling Blancett, right? That's the first time all night they really got him on the ground from a sack standpoint, but they've altered his throwing lanes quite a bit. That defensive line for Cameron playing good, tough football tonight.
Loss of about 11 all the way back to the 45-yard line. Snap back. Play fake to DeLeon. Throw across the middle. Intended for Espinosa. Looked like it was a little bit low. Fall incomplete.
Yeah, a little short. Jackson Blancett short-armed it just a little bit there. He had pressure in his face. That time was from the left side of his offensive line, but the right side of the Cameron defensive line. And again, Cameron's getting a lot of good outside push, right? I think part of that reason is that's one of the reasons Lorena's running plays inside that C gap are also popping, because those ends are coming straight up field, right, to try to bracket Jackson Blancett in there.
So third down and about 20, 21. Snap back to Blancett. He'll fake to DeLeon. Flag down. Blancett fakes the throw. He's running down the sideline. 15, 20. Now inside the 20, 15, 10. He'll be drugged down at about the 5-yard line. There is a flag down. So we'll have to see, but a good job. I mean, he faked out everybody on that one, Billy. Kind of faked the throw and then took off running.
Yeah, that's in the area of illegal hugging or holding if you're a rule stickler. But a little caveat here, it's good to see Brody DeLeon back on the field for the Leopards as well.
It is holding against the Leopards, so the long run from Blancett will come back. And it'll be 10 yards from the spot, which was well ahead of the line of scrimmage, so I don't know in terms of penalty yardage how much will be marked off. Maybe it looks like it's going to be, well, if we're going to mark it off 10 yards from the spot, I guess it was behind the line. So it's going to go all the way back inside Leopard territory, back to the 45-yard line. So it will be third in Milam County, really. See how far Cameron had to drive. So third down in a bunch. Snap back. Little draw play to DeLeon. Right up the middle. Tons of running room. Bounces it outside. Breaks the tackle 40, 35, 30. Breaks another tackle. Dives forward across the 25-yard line. We'll see where they mark him down. But he is going to have enough for an Epperson Tractor first down, Billy. Just some tough running by Brody DeLeon, breaking a couple of tackles once he got into the open field.
I can't believe I'm getting ready to say this, but I think he probably could have put a move on that last kid and scored. But Brody DeLeon said, no, I'm just going to lower my shoulder and truck him, run him over. And I think even Brody was a little surprised how easily he got through that scenario, and he tripped up there at the end. But what an impressive run. Third in Milam County to pick it up on a draw.
First and 10 for the Leopards. Snap back to DeLeon. Now he's going to cut back to the left. He's going to go around the right side. Stays in bounds. He's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown, Lorena Leopards. Touchdown, Brody DeLeon.
I mean, an incredible run. Reverses his field. Great vision. I mean, what else can you say about that run? But Carson Miller blocking downfield as a receiver is the reason that's a touchdown and not just like a 9-yard gain. Carson Miller stayed inside with his hands like he's coached to by Coach Graves and just gave his running back just enough of a lane to get up and score. Really nice job, Carson Miller. He doesn't always just catch balls. He does the dirty work, too.
Connor Johnson on once again to attempt the extra point. Snap back. Kick is up. And good. And with 1 second left to go here in the third quarter, your new score is Lorena 42, Cameron 6. We'll take a break, come right back. You're watching Lorena Leopard football powered by Rogue Media.
On I'm Rusty Robinson with Aquanauts Custom Pool and Spa, where quality and design makes the difference. We specialize in gunite pools, remodels, fiberglass pools. We've got all the selections here in the office between your tile, your coping, your veneer, top of the line equipment, concrete finishes, and anything else that you need. We've got glass tiles, pebble plaster, top of the line travertine coping, and 3cm, 5cm bullnose, anything that you could want on the pool. We're going to come out to the house, do a 3D design, get everything you need so that we can see your house, your pool, in your yard so that we can make any adjustments.
For more than 70 years, Community Bank and Trust has established a strong legacy of care and trust. Time and technology have changed. Checking and savings accounts haven't gone away. We still provide home loans, business loans, and personal loans. And we also offer state-of-the-art digital banking options. In a world where banking can feel impersonal, we still believe in one-on-one personal care. Community Bank and Trust.
Welcome back in. Leopards now lead 42-6. 55 yards on 2 rushes by Brody DeLeon gets him from third and a mile into the end zone. Leopards with the big lead. DeLeon 174 yards now, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, just another breakout performance by this Leopard offense, right? Offensive line, receivers, quarterback, running backs, all in sync. And we see the type of team this Leopard team can be if they get complementary football from both sides of the ball. The defense has showed up big tonight as well, Jared, and I cannot overstate that enough. A bounce-back performance against a really tough Franklin team last week, but you could tell they came out tonight with a lot to prove.
Connor Johnson put that ball halfway into the end zone for a touchback, so be interesting to see if they try to use that more in the weeks to come as a weapon to not give up, really 10 to 15 yards of field position.
Yeah, Jared, and I think past pertinent behavior would tell us if there was a flag and he had to do it again, he could do it twice in a row.
Important to know your sample history, Billy. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Yeomen at their own 25-yard line. Congratulations to everyone who had an EMS reference on their bingo card tonight. Jacoby Scott with it. He's going to run it himself around the right side, but he's going to be stopped. Trey Frosch from his belly reaches up and grabs Jacoby Scott, drags him down. He'll pick up about 2, but strong work from Frosch.
Frosch just gives me like Cooper Key vibes, from last year. Cooper was just a game wrecker inside. He just had that ability just to mess things up for the opposing offense. That'll be massive for Lorena if Frosch can become that guy for this team.
Billy, we'll keep it here. That is the end of the third quarter. Teams are going to trade ends, but while we have this break in the action, want to take a minute and talk about, obviously, one of the big things in Lorena football. It has become the Joe Pack Player of the Game award. I think we do our best to try to talk about this award, but I wanted to take an opportunity now that we have a quick break in the action, just kind of talk about that award. You actually established that award before joining the broadcast team several years ago, you and David Gibson. So kind of talk about how you came up with that.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to, to give back to my community that's given me so much. And David asked me, what about a Player of the Game award? And I was like, that sounds fantastic. And I couldn't think of a bit more deserving person than Joe Pack. Joe Pack was what I think Lorena's program has been built on, the hardworking, tenacious, just the heart of a champion. He resembles everything you want in a football player on and off the field. And unfortunately, he passed before his time. But it's great to see him celebrated and honored the way he should be.
We're going to talk more about that in a minute. 2nd and 8 for the Yeoman. That's a pass out to Lopez, pinchback. He is going to be run out of bounds, but he'll be across the 35-yard line, and he'll have enough for a Yeoman first down. And Billy, you mentioned kind of the character of who Joe Pack was, and kind of the heart of this award is not necessarily the player with the gaudiest stats. If that were the case, it'd be a running back or quarterback almost every week. We've seen backups getting into the game late win the award before. We've seen guys that don't necessarily play a lot as their seniors come on and win the award. It's just become a really big thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that as you see Cameron here with a big pass play.
Oh, no. That is Travion Miles, who made the catch in the backfield. One of the Leopards went for the tackle and kind of dove and Miles made him miss. There was no one on the right side, so going to be a huge gain for Cameron. It'll be all the way down 1st and goal. Correction, not 1st and goal. He's tackled at about the 12-yard line. But kudos to the Leopard defense for not just letting him go in. Connor Johnson giving chase and making the tackle. Okay, it is going to be right. It's going to be 1st and 10 at about the 12-yard line. Yeoman trying to work quickly now. Snap back to Scott. Nowhere to go. This time we see Frosch coming up, making the tackle. Also Marley Hamilton coming in there, getting another hit. Parker Bottoms as well. So really, talk about Trey Frosch here, Billy, kind of coming on in this second half.
Yeah, I mean, Trey Frosch is absolutely a difference maker inside, right? He is, he's doing exactly what Coach Parsons wants him to do, and that's create havoc inside. And that's kind of what Joe Pack did. Joe Pack was a defensive end, played on the defensive line with me, and he was just a guy that just messed things up for the other team, right? He just found a way to make a difference up there.
Scott with snap back, pass out to Lopez pinchback, and he is going to be wrangled down. That is Hunter Black out there making the tackle. Good tackle in open space by Black. He'll be stopped just short of the 1st down.
Yeah, Jared, we're seeing a lot of different looks from the Lorena defense. They're trying out some different kids in different spots, and in a game like this, they haven't really had the luxury of doing that this year. Every game they've been into has been really competitive. I mean, Franklin was extremely competitive for the first 3 quarters. So this is a great opportunity to find a little bit of depth, try some young men at some different spots, and maybe rest some of those guys that have been so battle tested.
It is a 1st down, 1st and goal for the Yeoman. Jacoby Scott gets the snap. Now a little bit of confusion, and it's Trey Frosch into the backfield again, wrapping up Jacoby Scott. It'll be a loss of about 4 on the play, and again, Trey Frosch is making his name.
Yeah, I mean, Trey Frosch is playing absolutely hair on fire defense from a nose guard technique, which means he's getting double teamed or cut blocked every play. You don't tell him he's up 36 points and just coast the rest of the game. He's playing his heart out. Love to see it from that young man.
So 2nd and goal. Scott rolling to his right, throws it into the corner. Pass incomplete. DeAllen Wilcox in the area, but I think that even if he comes down with that, he's out of bounds.
Yeah, I think they're going to watch that on film tomorrow, and he has a flat route early. If that ball comes out quick, that's a walk-in touchdown. But kudos to the Leopard, defensive hustle and getting underneath that flat route, took it away, and then it was just too late for the corner, to your point, Jared. Even if he catches it, it's a good yard out of bounds. But again, Leopard defense, you're up 36 points, right? And they're hustling to the football. Like, they're playing like it's 0-0, and that's something that we've wanted to see from this unit we're seeing tonight.
Snap back. Scott rolling right again. Flag down. Again, we see Parker Bottoms coming out of nowhere to wrap up Scott. Hudson Hill a little slow to get up. I think one of the Leopard defensive ends may have jumped off sides.
Yeah, down here it's half the distance to the goal penalty. So, sometimes it's okay to gamble on that.
Well, I think it might have been, I believe that was Braylon Ocasio, and I think he may have just lost his balance and fell forward a little bit.
But, back to Joe, Jared, and I'll put a bow on it. Joe was one of those guys that everyone in the locker room had a Joe story. And he was just, when we talk about on and off the field, that's probably said too much in the game of football. But it never applied to somebody more than it did Joe. Right? Joe would take a moment of stress and turn it into levity, and you need guys like that on your team.
Jacoby Scott's going to take it into the end zone for Cameron. A little runner on the left side. It'll almost look like Cameron's version of the Rhino package. He'll take it in for the touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, you could power run there to the left side. Again, good blocking at the point of attack. And I'll tell you this, I mean, as disjointed as the Cameron offense has looked in the passing game, when they get after you in the running game, you could see they've got pieces here that can give you a lot of problems on defense, right? Tonight the Leopards have been, on the spot and up to task.
Cesar Nahara with the extra point for the Yeoman, and with 8:41 left to go, your new score is Lorena 42, Cameron 13. 8:41 left to go. We'll take a break, come right back. You're watching Lorena Leopard football powered by Rogue Media.
What do I love about Yellow Rose? What I love about Yellow Rose is the connections, is getting to meet people and bring joy into their life, take their most important asset and make it more beautiful.
You'll find companies out there that are willing to sell you what you want to hear, but they won't stand behind what they sell you. And Yellow Rose Painting will stand behind that.
Welcome back in. Leopards up 42-13. And Billy, the Yeomen get set to kick off. We'll have to keep our eyes out to see if they try to go with an onside kick here. But I want to keep talking a little bit more about Joe Pack. You said everybody has a Joe story, and some of the folks that I've talked to in addition to you have always talked about that. Again, Joe wasn't necessarily, even though he played on the defensive line, wasn't necessarily the biggest guy or the fastest, but he played with a motor unlike anybody else on the team and was just the consummate teammate.
Yeah, I mean, he was a better teammate than he was a player, and he was a really, really, really good player. I don't use this term lightly, unblockable at times, right? Like you just, even in practice, you get a hold of him and you think you're going to drive him off the ball, and he had a way of just kind of just like the really good running backs do. They just kind of slip out of it. But Joe used to tell me all the time, like, I'll meet you at the quarterback because we both played defense together. And I did everything I could, Jared, to beat him to the quarterback, and Joe would just pop up, right? Like he just had a way of shedding blocks and getting to the ball, and he was so disruptive to everything that the defense wanted to do. He didn't always show up on the stat sheet because he would blow the play up by blowing up a pulling guard, and I would get the solo tackle, and everyone pat me on the helmet. But I'm like, Joe just took out 3 of the guys that were supposed to block me, you know? So that kind of player and those kind of players make you win football games, and they should be recognized.
1st and 10 for the Leopards at their own 25-yard line. Snap back to Blancett. He hands it off to Hunter Black. Pickup of 2. I think on that kickoff, Billy, it was kind of that hybrid squib kick from Nahara, picked up by Titus Jesperson. Good job to not let that ball get back any further. We started to see the speed as he beat the first guy, but then second one came in and brought him down. But good field position for the Leopards, as maybe they're going to try to work some clock here as we grind this homecoming game down.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that what you're seeing is some of these younger players get an opportunity tonight. There's a lot to be excited about from this younger class for Lorena.
Snap back to Blancett, handoff to Hunter Black, running right. Now he'll cut back behind a big block from Landon Manus, the center. Good job by Hunter Black, cuts it back up. He's going to dive across the 35, and he'll have enough for an Epperson Tractor first down.
And one of the things I love the most about that run is Hunter Black has shown lateral shiftiness, right? Like he do jump cut. He's really, really elusive. But there at the end, he put his shoulder down, lowered his head, and got about 2 to 3 extra yards. And those yards are big for a running back, right? Like that's the difference between a first down and not at times. And I think that maybe he's channeling his inner Brody DeLeon, or Brody's kind of rubbing off on him. And that's great to see if you're a Leopard fan.
1st and 10, Leopard snap back. Hunter Black has it around the left side. Big hole, cuts back into the middle of the field, makes a couple of guys miss. He'll fall forward, and he'll have another gain of 11, another Epperson Tractor first down.
I just love his vision. He gives me Austin Eckler vibes if you're familiar with the NFL game. But, you know, he's very quick but really good vision, right? And he was setting up that Cameron defender. As the Cameron defender thought he was going to, like, try to tackle him, he was setting him up for that little cutback. You saw it. Almost like he was a crossover in basketball. I really like his instincts.
1st and 10 for the Leopards at their own 48-yard line. Snap back. Black with it again. He'll cut back through. Tries to get through the middle of that line. Nothing doing. Tackled by Andrew Castillo for the Yeomen. No gain on first down.
Yeah, and I think Black right now is like, this is the most work he's seen all year long. He's getting the rock a lot. Probably dealing with a little bit of fatigue, right? Because he broke off a couple big runs, but I love the fact there, right? There wasn't much. Cameron defended it well at the point of attack. He hit the plate side gap. Nothing was there. He didn't try to do anything crazy. He just lowered his head and got what he could get, right? So really nice run there that resulted in a half a yard.
2nd down and 9. Snap back. Black with it. He'll cut back again. Flag down. We see Thomas Durr in the ballgame on that offensive line for the Leopards. Also see Hunter Deloney, Brock Maggard, Jensen Myers in there.
And Jared, in games like this, I spoke to it earlier about, playing some of your underclassmen and some of your depth players, but this is fantastic from a program standpoint for Lorena, right? Because like we've seen through this year and last year and every year, your depth is always tested in this game. This is a violent game. Injuries happen. So these reps now that seem like, the game is not in hand and it's just kind of winding down, but these are valuable reps for these young men because when they are called upon later in the year, which some of them will be, they'll be ready, right? They'll have some meaningful varsity reps in front of them. So these are really important reps for these young men.
Second down and about 20. Now Black will split out wide to the right. Flags down, and it looks like the Leopards may be guilty of a delay of game. Play clock was at 0. They did seem to take their time to get the play call in and get to the line. But again, to your point, you've got some younger kids in there trying to figure out the right formations, get where they're supposed to be, and it's just taking a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Babineau over there on the Cameron sideline was making sure that the referee saw it. Like he was pointing it out quite assertively.
Leopards will snap back. Pass caught by Zach Taylor. Taylor will have it at about the 25-yard line. Slung down awfully late. Michael Keith on the tackle, but good to see Zach Taylor with the catch and moving forward.
Yeah, good to see him back on the field. He was banged up in that first game against Austin Regents, and it's good to see him back out there moving well and making plays.
So third down and about 20, give or take. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. Snap back to Blancett. It's going deep down the sideline. He's got Titus Jesperson. Jesperson makes the catch, comes back and adjusts. Now, stiff arms. It looks like he did step out of bounds, but Billy, what a catch from Titus Jesperson, and then having the wherewithal to stay in bounds, and he's going to pick up an Epperson tractor first down.
Yeah, big time throw there. There is a flag on the play, looks like ineligible, but I do want to cover that pitch and catch. Really nice throw there by Jackson Blancett. He was under pressure, threw a back shoulder, and Titus Jesperson went around the defender's hip and caught that ball with his hands and still was able to get upfield. Again, it's not going to go down in the stat book, and this is at this point the game is not in question, right? But that's a play that you see that later in the year Jesperson may have to be called on for a big catch later in the year, and now he's got proof on film that his coaches can trust him. He's got the confidence to come out there and make a play.
Ineligible receiver downfield will back him up 5 more yards, so it is third and a mile. Snap back, hand off to Hunter Black. Stays on his feet, but nowhere to go, and he'll be drugged down. No gain on the play. It'll bring up a punting situation for the Leopards. But yeah, to your point, Billy, really good catch, and I mean he had to basically turn around to the outside, catch it right off of his shoe tops, but then stayed in bounds, broke a tackle, and then before stepping out of bounds. But good things from a lot of the sophomores tonight. We've seen some of these young men really grow up.
Yeah, I mean, and anytime you see a receiver catch with his hands below his knees, that is incredibly hard to do. His momentum is going the entirely opposite way, so a lot to be impressed about by that catch.
Jackson Blancett is going to put his right foot into it. Big punt all the way to the 35 where it is caught. That is DeAllen Wilcox. He'll make the catch and fall down right there. So another huge punt from Jackson Blancett to quote-unquote flip the field. 3:28 left to go. Leopards up 42-13. We'll keep it right here. Billy, I think one other thing that kind of you mentioned putting a bow, talking about Joe Pack. I think the other thing that we were able to do over the last couple of years is really kind of talk to, you've been able to, because you're close with the family. We've talked to his sister, I believe Stephanie, and he also has a brother, and they expressed their appreciation as a way to kind of get Joe's story out there. Obviously, we lost him way too soon, and this is just a great way to honor who he was and just the blessing that he was in this Lorena community.
Yeah, and Joe's niece Lexi, Andrew and Stephanie's daughter, she's a student here at Lorena ISD, and you'll see her from time to time help present the award. I mean, I could not be happier that the family gets to be a part of it, and it truly is a family award.
First down for the Yeomen. Scott with a pass down the sideline. Falls incomplete. Zane Chalk into the game. in pass coverage. Good to see Chalk right where he needs to be, jumping up and disrupting that play. It'll bring up second down.
Yeah, absolutely. You had two Cameron receivers kind of in the same area. Normally that means there's a busted route concept somewhere. But nice job playing the ball in the air by a lot of young men getting their first varsity action.
So second down and 10, ball at the Cameron 35-yard line. Snap back to Scott. He'll pass it out into the flat. That is number 45 with the catch. Jet Vaculin, tackled immediately by Preston Powell. Pick up a 5 and bring up third down.
Sorry, Joe. You see there from Scott, when he's on time and his route concept is on time, he throws a very good ball. He spins it right where it's supposed to be. That ball was right on the money, allowing his receiver to pick up the yards. So a lot of talent in that arm for Scott, and if they can get the timing down, this offense can be extremely dangerous.
Third and 5, Scott rolling to his right, being chased down by Marley Hamilton. Pass just a little bit too tall. That was number 3, DeAllen Wilcox.
I mean, Marley Hamilton coming from the backside ran down Scott, and if Scott holds it for maybe a half a second longer, that's probably a strip sack and the Leopard scoop and score. So that athleticism there and also hustle. Again, I keep talking about 2:48 left to go in the game, in a game that looks like it's been decided. That young man's making the most out of his opportunity tonight, and he may make it tough on the coaching staff not to keep him up on varsity.
So fourth down. Jacoby Scott back in punt formation. He'll take it, put his right foot into it. It is going to be caught. That is Kit Seeley making the tough catch. Fair catch called for. He has it. Leopards will have possession at their own 27-yard line. 2:41 left to go. So we do want to remind everyone to stay tuned following the conclusion of the game. Have Billy go down, have his post-game interview with Lorena head coach Kevin Johnson, and also the aforementioned presentation of the Joe Pack Player of the Game Award. Billy, we kind of spoke before the game, kind of what we were hoping to see. I think we've seen that. Some guys have really kind of separated themselves, especially in this second half. So it'll be a tough decision, as it always is, but I look forward to the discussion.
Absolutely. I mean, this Lorena team makes it tough on us, and that's a good thing, right? There's always multiple kids that could have earned it tonight, and tonight's no different, right? You've had a great effort from a bunch of individuals.
Hunter Black with it around the left side. He's going to be upended. Ooh, tough hit. That is DeAllen Wilcox, who's really played well for Cameron on both sides of the ball. It'll be a pickup of about, let's see where they mark him down. They're going to say, man, a pickup of 6. I guess Black really kind of flew through the air.
Yeah, I will say, the partner up on your call about Wilcox. Wilcox has really played well tonight. He's been disruptive. He's been high motor, hustling down to the end. Like, that's a kid that you can build a program around. I'm assuming that's exactly the type of player, effort-wise and performance level, that Coach Babineau wants.
So second down called at 4 after the gain of 6 by Hunter Black, and the 2-minute warning is here. I'd say what, Billy, we'll go ahead and keep it here. While we have a moment, we'll talk about just some overall stats tonight for both teams. Leopards, 26 rushes for 240 yards. Only 9 completions, 143 yards through the air, but they haven't had to do it. They've been able to do it largely on the legs of Brody DeLeon and Hunter Black. When we look over at the Cameron Yo, 32 carries, 105 yards, 10 pass completions for 93 yards. So a couple of interceptions for Jacoby Scott. Of course, Luke Lavender getting the big one for the Leopards individually. Brody DeLeon, 14 carries, 174 yards, 3 touchdowns. Hunter Black, 8 carries for 42 yards. Jackson Blanchard adding 4 carries on his own for 24 yards and a touchdown. Carson Miller again leads in receiving, 4 carries for 54 yards. Sloan Blackwell, a couple of catches for 48 yards and a touchdown. Back in action, it's Hunter Black on the carry. He'll pick up 3, and that'll bring up third and short.
Yeah, big tough run there inside, setting up a third down. I think everyone in the building knows that you're going to line up and run it. As a running back, this is the part where you get real excited because you know the ball. You're going to get the ball, but they know you're getting the ball, and it's one of those situations where it's like, you know what I'm going to do. I know what you're going to do. Let's just see who's tougher in a phone booth. But, man, the stat line, Brody DeLeon, another great night on the ground. And he'd be the first to tell you his offensive line paves the way, but just a great individual effort, him playing both ways tonight as well.
3rd down and 2, snap back, give us to Black. He's going to push forward. Ball's on the ground. Cameron says they have it, ball still rolling around. Not sure if whistle blew, but the ball's still rolling around. Cameron says they have it, and the officials are going to agree. So on that 3rd down, looked like Black got hit up high as he was trying to push forward. Ball kind of squirted out. Never really saw anybody come up with a recovery, but whistle blows, and
yeah, that was one of those plays. I think a lot of people, the players on the field, felt like the play was over, including the referees. I don't think anyone could locate the ball. And to your point, Jared, really good eyes on that. The ball did squirt out there from the scrub. It looked like rugby. If you ever watch rugby, how the ball sometimes just rolls out of there and they start running and tossing it all types of crazy places. But yeah, I mean, Hunter Black's had a really nice night tonight, but he's had put the ball on the turf twice. But that's all stuff that he's put on film that the coaches can work on. It's all development stuff. Like, you want it to happen in a game that you're up 42-13 versus a game that, maybe Brody DeLeon cramps in a, 17 game at La Vega, and you don't want, you want these reps now to where you can work on it in practice. And really big, elusive runner, Hunter Black, there's a lot to be excited about that young man.
1:11 left to go. It looks like Cameron is going to take a timeout. Assuming the apocalypse doesn't happen in the next 1:11, Cameron will drop to 1-3 on the year. Leopards will move to 2-2, but more importantly, they're going to do something that they haven't done in over a year, and that is win at Leopard Field, a 7-game losing streak coming into tonight, and they look to erase that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I think the only way you can win 2 at home is you got to win that first one, and this was a big step tonight, Jared. The strength tonight was the defense, right? I mean, the offense played well. It always plays well, but kind of got out of rhythm. The defense held it together while the offense was able to separate. And, again, you look at this team and the pieces they have. If they can find a way to play complementary football between all 3 phases, they can win a lot of football games.
Motion is going to be called against Cameron. Looks like we have a new quarterback in there. I'm not sure. This is one of the unfortunate things about high school sports is we've got a number 2 and a number 22. I don't know that we know the number 22 player because it's listed as something different on our roster. But snap back, pass out in the flat. That is number 45. Jet Vaculin with the catch. He'll be pushed out of bounds. He'll pick up the penalty yardage back. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, really nice throw by the unnamed quarterback. But really nice throw there. Spins it extremely well. It was on time right out of the break. So, big-time arm talent already from this young man.
So 2nd down and 10. Snap back, quick pass out to Travion Miles. Running hard, but he is tackled hard. That is Kit Seeley and also Keaton Leonard coming up to make the tackle. Good to see Keaton Leonard getting a lot of snaps tonight out there on that far side corner and doing well.
Yeah, and Cameron still competing, right? They're still spreading the ball out. They're still executing their offense. They're not just handing it off and letting the clock run. So this is great experience for everyone, including the Cameron players right now that are also depth players.
So 3rd down and about 7. Snap back, rolling left. Looking, he's got Vaculin. It's going to be run down by Adrian Medina, pulled out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. Should be enough for a 1st down. 22 seconds left to go. Official was winding his arm, so the clock will start. Technically, Cameron doesn't have to run another play. I'm not sure they will. And it looks like their coaches are going to wave them over. Nope, they're going to try one more time. 10 seconds to go. Snap back. Rolling right. Chase Rohde is going to get a sack coming through the last play of the game. Chase Rohde knifes through and is able to sack the quarterback, and that is going to do it. Your final here at Leopard Field, Lorena 42, Cameron 13. Leopards win. Leopards win.
Yeah, big-time win night for the Leopards. And, Jared, pregame we talked about the things that Lorena needed to do, and I think you spoke to in the keys of the game all just kind of played out, right? Like, I think the defense needed to have a bounce-back type of performance. We saw that. And this Leopard offense is this Leopard offense, right? On a night that they kind of felt like they were a little sloppy at times, they still put up a 42 spot. So an embarrassment of riches on that side of the ball, and you're seeing the athletes now that this coaching staff knew they had on defense starting to emerge.
Well, I'll tell you what, as the teams unceremoniously shake hands across the middle of the field. Again, your final score, Lorena 42, Cameron 13. We'll take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll try to pass along some other scores in the area. Also have Billy down on the field with Leopards head coach Kevin Johnson, and then the presentation of the Joe Pack Player of the Game Award. It's the Aquanauts Custom Pools and Spa post-game show. You're watching Lorena Leopard football, powered by Rogue Media.
Hey Leopard fans, looking to build the home of your dreams? Look no further than BAM Builders, your trusted local custom home builder. From foundation to finish, BAM brings your vision to life with quality, craftsmanship, and a team that truly cares. It's time to build something amazing right here in Leopard Country. Call 254-716-9987 or visit builtbybam.com to get started. That's builtbybam.com. BAM Builders, built with heart.
Syntex Pond, Waco, Hewitt, Temple, and Killeen, here to help you with all your cash flow needs. Bring in all items of value for quick, hassle-free loans or sell them at a fair value and receive the best customer service in Central Texas. From Rolexes to firearms, our experienced staff is here to help when you need cash with compassion and understanding. Check out our Google reviews and come see for yourself. We are proud supporters of Lorena Leopard football. Syntex Pond. We are not in the loan or merchandise business. We are in the people business. Come check us out.
I'm Rusty Robinson with Aquanauts Custom Pool and Spa, where quality and design makes the difference. We specialize in gunite pools, remodels, fiberglass pools. We've got all the selections here in the office between your tile, your coping, your veneer, top of the line equipment, concrete finishes, and anything else that you need. We've got glass tiles, pebble plaster, top of the line travertine coping, and 3cm, 5cm bullnose, anything that you could want on the pool. We're gonna come out to the house, do a 3D design, get everything you need so that we can see your house, your pool, in your yard so that we can make any adjustments.
A legacy of dependability.
Member FDIC.
For more than 70 years, Community Bank and Trust has established a strong legacy of care and trust. Time and technology have changed. Checking and savings accounts haven't gone away. We still provide home loans, business loans, and personal loans. And we also offer state-of-the-art digital banking options. In a world where banking can feel impersonal, we still believe in one-on-one personal care. Community Bank and Trust, a legacy of dependability.
Epperson Tractors invites you to save big on their full lineup of new DYM tractors. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a full-time rancher, we offer tractors ranging from 25 to 75 horsepower. Why choose Epperson? They're proud to be the 2024 DYM Dealership of the Year. Come meet their expert team of tractor pros who can help you find the horsepower you need with a deal you'll love. Epperson Tractor Sales and Service, where service is in our name.
Tough Shed is #1 for a reason. We started building sheds in 1981. Most of them are still standing. That's because our sheds are made to last right here in the USA. Customize yours to get exactly what you want. Then we deliver and install for you. With finance and payment options, you might be surprised at how affordable a Tough Shed is. Design your dream shed or garage at toughshed.com and visit our Waco showroom located at 7705 Woodway Drive near Santa Fe Drive. Dream, Design, deliver, install. Tough Shed.
Member FDIC.
For more than 70 years, Community Bank and Trust has established a strong legacy of care and trust. Time and technology have changed. Checking and savings accounts haven't gone away. We still provide home loans, business loans, and personal loans. And we also offer state-of-the-art digital banking options. In a world where banking can feel impersonal, we still believe in one-on-one personal care. Community Bank and Trust, a legacy of dependability.
Member FDIC.
Three phases. Just thoughts on the game, sir.
Well, I was proud of them. A win's a win, right? I mean, we challenged them, and we felt that's a game we should come out here and win. Hats off for them. They're playing hard. They're working on trying to find an identity, but I thought their kids played hard and came out, especially the first half, gave themselves a chance to kind of be in the game. We had to challenge our kids and come back in the second half and control the game and do what we need to do. I mean, obviously they weren't a top 10 team like what we've been playing, so I mean, good teams got to come out and handle that. You've got to take the maturity and come out and do what you need to do. And I thought the second half we did that better the second half. A little sloppy on our end. I think some of that's just kind of the mental aspect of your opponent, and we got to make sure that we don't play that way in there. But overall, just proud of them. Again, came out and did some really good things. A little sloppy at times, but we did some good things. We got to win.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. A really impressive win, a dominating win, again, in all three phases. Talk to me a little bit about your defense. You had a scoop and score touchdown tonight. There were times when you talked about your offense got a little sloppy. The defense stepped up and got you stops when you needed it. Talk to me a little bit about that group. I know you're banged up there. You're playing a lot of new faces. DeLeon played both ways. But just thoughts on that this week of preparation and what you saw of that group tonight.
Well, I mean, here's the deal. We're just challenging that group week to week. We are banged up there. We're undersized up there, and we're just trying to be as scrappy as we can be. We've got some kids there that, again, this is their fourth game they've played on Friday night. Friday night's different. It's not Thursday night. It's not junior high. It's just different, and we're learning. We're still making some mistakes. We're not reading like we need to do, but I felt like we played harder. We challenged them. We did some things there a lot better than we've done the last couple of weeks. So. I mean, we always grow on that, and that's all we're asking them to do is get better week to week, and eventually at some point, hopefully, we'll get healthy and we can hold up in there and get some stuff.
And tonight we noticed Trey Frost really stand out, specifically late in the game when the game really wasn't in question anymore. He was giving max effort, being extremely disruptive. Can you talk to me a little bit about his development? Because tonight it seemed like he took a really big leap up front, and that's a key position for you guys.
We need to step up and play that way. I mean, we know what he's capable of doing. Part of that is him getting in a rhythm of doing that, and it is crucial. We need him because we have got through up front, keep us fresh. He's one of our bigger bodies, too, and he's a strong kid. So I'm happy for him having a pretty good night there, and we're going to count on him coming back and having some better nights as we go down the road. But we got to have him do that.
Well, Coach, thank you as always. Big win tonight. We look forward to see you guys again next week. Back to you, Jared.
All right, thanks, Billy. That is Leopards head coach Kevin Johnson following the 42-13 win over the Cameron Yeoman. Billy mentioned next week. Leopards are actually off next week, and then we will conclude the non-district schedule with a Thursday night tilt against the Lampasas Badgers. It should be an exciting game, the final game of this 3-game homestand for the Leopards. Again, 42-13, the final. Let me try to pull up some other scores around the area. It's been that kind of night. Looking around the district, well, kind of a big upset up in Salina. Salina defeats Franklin 33-22. La Vega gets a big win over Brownwood 38-16. Gatesville defeats McGregor 48-12 in a huge game. Robinson comes back to defeat Glenrose 41-40. Midway defeats Mansfield 42-34. Academy over Salado 41-28. Springtown defeats China Spring 36-7. Big win for the Porcupines. Alvarado all over Conley 70-21. Troy defeats Thrall 44-20. And those are the scores around the area. Up in the Metroplex, I can't believe I'm about to say this. Looks like Waxahachie defeats Duncanville tonight, 28-27. That game will send shockwaves through the Metroplex. Ponder over Bonham, 65-21. But again, Leopards get the big monkey off of their back. They win 42-13 over Cameron. It looks like Billy now has tonight's winner of the Joe Pack Player of the Game Award. Billy, we're going to send it back down to you.
Joe Pack Player of the Game Award winner, I believe you like to be called Trey, correct? Trey Frosch. And tonight, Lexi Pack, Joe's niece, is standing next to me to help give the award. So there you go, Trey. Congratulations, young man. So tonight, I noticed on film, you popped off the film, specifically in the second half, you were extremely disruptive, right? Playing the nose position, defensive line, that's tough in a three-man front. You get a lot of double teams, a lot of cut blocks. Tonight, you just seemed every time they tried to do something with their guards or center, you just kind of knew it was coming or just beat the guy to the spot. Just talk to me a little bit about tonight's game, your development as you're learning a new defense, and just kind of that process.
I mean, they were decent. They were good. They were good sports. Honestly, just getting off the ball quick and getting to your positions, getting in that gap, outrunning them. You're getting the 1 extra second. That helps a lot. So, I mean, that's just the best way. Best way to learn. You fail, but you get back up and you learn again and again. So.
And Coach Johnson about it tonight. The offense had moments where they were uncharacteristically sloppy. Offense just stepped up every time you needed to step up. You got to stop. You had to scoop and score a touchdown. But even in other plays, you had negative plays. You were able to create havoc. Tell me a little bit about when this defense is clicking and you got both levels playing together. How fun is it to play so much disruptive defense? And just talk to me a little about your fellow teammates.
Oh, it was great. I do want to thank all my teammates. I wouldn't have nobody. I mean, we wouldn't be where we're at without my teammates. So they've done a great job, and I appreciate them. Came out first half right now, but back. So that's just how we are. Just learn.
Very nice. I'm gonna talk to Dad a little bit. All right. Thoughts on seeing your kid come out here and just be really just disruptive, right? That's the best word for it.
I know he's had in him. Been watching, been waiting. He's exploding. I like it. Senior year, just keep on pushing. That's what I'm all about. Proud of him.
And what are your thoughts?
I'm very proud of him. He's worked very hard through all these years to earn this place here. So we're proud of him. We're glad that he's in this position. He earned this. Absolutely.
And great words, Mom and Dad. And you had a lot of things to say about your efforts. He's counting on you to continue that effort. But here's the toughest question tonight, my friend. If you were a car, what
car? I'd be a. Did it have to be like a car? All right, 1995 Ford F-250. That's what I'd be.
And why is that?
I just they're an older fashioned body, and if they got a 7.3 in it, they're hard. They're hard working. They move and move and move. So
they got a motor that doesn't stop, just like you had playing, dependable and reliable, just like you were tonight playing. And Joe was a selfless team first player that did a lot of the dirty work up front and defensive line. You did that tonight. You do it every week playing that position, and it's great for us to be able to recognize you for such a great effort, young man. Congratulations. Jared, back to you, sir.
All right, thank you, Billy. That is tonight's Joe Pack Player of the Game Award winner, James Trey Frosch. That defensive line, him along with Ty Hatton, Mason Sears, and others just doing all the plowman's work, if you will, down there in the trenches. And Trey just doing a phenomenal job tonight, getting through, sacking the quarterback a couple of different times, just as part of that defense that really came out and made a statement. Leopards get the big win tonight, 42-13. I tell you what, we'll step aside for one more commercial break. When we come back, we'll put a bow on this one. Also got a couple of other things to talk about as we look forward to the upcoming weeks. And just one more stat we want to pass along tonight. We'll come right back. It's the Aquanauts Custom Pool and Spa post-game show. You're watching Lorena Leopard football, powered by Rogue Media.
I'm Rusty Robinson with Aquanauts Custom Pool and Spa, where quality and design makes the difference. We specialize in gunite pools, remodels, fiberglass pools. We've got all the selections here in the office between your tile, your coping, your veneer, top of the line equipment, concrete finishes, and anything else that you need. We've got glass tiles, pebble plaster, top of the line travertine coping, and 3cm, 5cm bullnose, anything that you could want on the pool. We're going to come out to the house, do a 3D design, get everything you need so that we can see your house, your pool, in your yard so that we can make any adjustments.
Hey Leopard fans, looking to build the home of your dreams? Look no further than BAM Builders, your trusted local custom home builder. From foundation to finish, BAM brings your vision to life with quality, craftsmanship, and a team that truly cares. It's time to build something amazing right here in Leopard Country. Call 254-716-9987 or visit builtbybam.com to get started. That's builtbybam.com. BAM Builders, built with heart, built for you. Hey, Leopard fans.
For more than 70 years, Community Bank and Trust has established a strong legacy of care and trust. Time and technology have changed. Checking and savings accounts haven't gone away. We still provide home loans, business loans, and personal loans. And we also offer state-of-the-art digital banking options. In a world where banking can feel impersonal, we still believe in one-on-one personal care. Community Bank and Trust, a legacy of dependability.
Member FDIC.
Welcome back into the broadcast booth. Jared Brown, Billy Rutherford. Leopards get the big win tonight, 42-13. I thought Coach Johnson really spoke to the fact that they challenge this defense every week, and tonight we saw them step up and do that.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the offensive performance, we're like, oh man, they were kind of sloppy. Then you look at the scoreboard and the stats, you're like, well, is that sloppy? That's a best night for some offenses. But the story of tonight obviously was Brody DeLeon and that defense. So that defense dominated tonight. Again, Coach Johnson talked about Cameron's a little disjointed, still trying to find their identity.
Right.
But you still got to tackle. Still got to get to the ball and play clean, and the defense did that.
Yeah. And obviously I think we talked about it. So the Leopards are off next week, so that defense is going to get some time to rest, hopefully get some guys back from injury. We saw Chase Rohde back tonight and really didn't play a lot of snaps, but came through there at the end and gets the sack to end the game. So I think if they can get some guys healthy, get some key things back in place, but also a game like this gave plenty of guys opportunities to play really on both sides of the ball, but certainly on the defensive side. We saw some of those younger kids get in there and play. We saw Luke Lavender with the big interception. We saw Keaton Leonard play really well at the other corner spot. And so I think that's going to be huge going forward, where those guys can get quality reps to dispel people, especially if we know that injuries and bumps and bruises are part of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think you saw a lot of depth-type players. You would say, well, these are depth players. It's good to get them playing time. But you've seen the way this season has gone so far. These guys are going to need to come up and make big plays later in the year, right? And the Lavender interception was massive. The scoop and score touchdown here. Hunter Black getting reps in there to give Brody DeLeon, who, if he continues to play both ways, which I think he's going to have to, you need to be able to give him some breaks on offense. I think Hunter Black showed tonight he's more than just a capable backup.
100%. But Leopards get the bye week next week, and then they welcome in on a Thursday night game. So that's Thursday, October 2nd. They will welcome in the Lampasas Badgers. A big game for us, as it's going to be televised locally on KCEN. So something we're gonna be excited about doing. But Billy, we talked about before the game this being homecoming in Lorena, Texas, and really I thought Kevin at halftime spoke to what a phenomenal community this is and how much homecoming means, the parade, everything else. We talk about crowning the homecoming queen. One of the interesting things I think about Lorena is we still have a lot of alumni, not just you, but other people in the area who still come to games, and we wanted to take a moment and talk about that real quick.
Yeah, tonight to the day, it's the anniversary of Leah Deanne Benton Hill. She was the homecoming queen. Now, I was told 45 years ago, I know Deanne. It had to be closer to 10, just judging by how great she looks. Right. But nevertheless, there's lineage through. If married to Mark Hill, Mark, Ashley's dad, Ashley Hudson and Colin Hill. Like the whole lineage goes down. Great Lorena family, and like Deanne's a Benton too. So Brad Benton played on the state championship football team. So there's a lot of connections throughout the community. So we definitely wanted to recognize, I know it's Deanne Hill, but congratulations on your 10-year anniversary of homecoming.
Yeah, 10 years, wink, wink. And to the day, actually, we don't know what day homecoming is going to be from year to year, so certainly a special moment for her, the Benton, and the Hill family. But now it's time for our family to get out of here. Again, Leopard's off next week, so you won't have to see us next Friday night, but then it'll be the following Thursday. We'll be back here at Leopard Field for a game against the Lampasas Badgers, the final non-district tune-up before the Leopards hit the gauntlet of district play. Billy, kind of final thoughts on tonight's game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what we wanted to see as fans, we saw, right? And that's the big shot in the arm as a fan. Football-wise, we've been talking about it off air, that the pieces were there for this defense to really execute at a high level. They were just banged up and like they were just out of sync. Similar to what we talked about Cameron's offense, that's kind of what the defense was. You had players making plays, but just the whole defense wasn't necessarily playing as a unit. Tonight is, they're not a finished product, right? Tonight was a huge step in that direction, and I think that Brody DeLeon has submitted himself. He didn't have to, as a stud running back for the Leopards. And Jackson Bland said, like, what else can we say that hasn't already been said about that young man? Having an incredible season, record-setting season, and continues to mature and get better. And his leadership is getting better each week. Parker Bottoms in the leadership. So, I mean, you're seeing these seniors, and some of them are juniors, taking that leadership step forward that this team definitely needed.
Yep. Well, Leopards get the big win tonight, snap the 7-game home losing streaks, and I think try to start a winning streak at home. I want to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors: Yellow Rose Painting, Epperson Tractor, BAM Builders, Syntex Pawn, and also Rogue Media for helping us get this broadcast on the air. Again, phenomenal crew again tonight. Justin Peoples, the engineer, Zach Beard on our camera, Josh Beard, our producer, just doing a great job. We did have some technical difficulties, something that was out of our hands, but Josh doing a phenomenal job to get us back on the air as best we can. Again, Leopards off next week, but we will see you in 2 weeks on October 2nd, right back here at Leopard Field. But for now, it's time to get out of here and go enjoy the homecoming festivities. So we want to thank all of you for tuning in tonight. We appreciate your belief in us and letting us talk to you about Lorena Leopard football. But for now, it's time to say goodnight. So for Billy Rutherford, my name is Jared Brown. We thank you for joining in, and we say good night from Lorena.